You know that feeling when the day just seems to vanish? You have this long list of things you want to do, but the hours, they just aren't there. Let's just take a slow breath together. In and out. What if that whole idea, that feeling of not having enough time, was all just an illusion? Let's see if we can unpack that together. Yeah, that feeling of being constantly rushed. It's like you're fighting against a current, and it's just pulling you along, right? Well, that's what the source for this explainer calls the time trap. It's this mindset we get stuck in, a feeling that there's never enough. And, a lot of us are tuned into that frequency without even knowing it. But what if there was another station we could tune into? So, to really get a handle on this trap, we have to look at how we even think about time. The way our whole world is set up, we're taught to see time as, well, as a straight line, right? Something you have to manage, something you can spend or waste or save, almost like it's a product. And that one simple idea, it really does shape everything. And this really breaks it down for us. There are two totally different ways to look at this. On the one hand, you've got what we could call 3D time. This is the whole time is money mindset. It's that straight line, always moving forward, always feeling like there's not enough. It's defined by rushing. But then there's this other way, a higher dimensional view. Here, time isn't money, time is art. It's not about racing to the future, it's about diving deep into the present moment, the now. And that world is all about richness, about creating, about just being. And this is true, right? You felt it. Your experience of time isn't set in stone. It stretches and it shrinks. I mean, think about it. A fantastic vacation can feel like it's over in the blink of an eye. But just a few minutes of being really, really bored, that can feel like forever. So it's not just a vague feeling. Your consciousness, how present you are in a moment, literally changes how you experience time. Okay, so if time can stretch and shrink, then where does all that stress, all that pressure actually come from? Well, it turns out it's almost never about what's happening right now. It's about where our minds are wandering, to the past and to the future. Think about this for a second. Anxiety only lives in the future. That's it. Every single worry is about something that hasn't happened yet. What if? What am I going to do when? We're literally stressing ourselves out over moments that don't even exist. And on the flip side of that coin, you've got regret. And where does regret live? Only in the past. Every if only I had, or I shouldn't have said that. It's all about being stuck in a moment that is completely, totally gone. A moment you can never, ever go back to. So what does this all mean? It means the future we worry about and the past we regret, they're illusions. They're non-existent time. And that's where the suffering comes from. That feeling of being trapped, it comes from our minds choosing to live in these moments that just aren't real. And right here, this is the way out. It's so simple. The antidote to all of that illusion is the reality of right now. The moment you bring your full attention, your consciousness, back to the present moment, to your breath, to the feeling of the chair you're sitting in, all those worries about the future, all those regrets about the past, they just disappear. All right, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds great in theory, but how am I supposed to do that when I've got a million things going on? Well, there's actually a really simple, really practical exercise we can try. It's called the live commentary method. So here's how you do it. First, just pick some everyday task, something you usually find kind of tedious, like washing dishes or doing data entry. Then, as you're doing it, you're going to start narrating your own actions, just silently in your head. For example, now I am picking up the sponge, now I am turning on the water, now I am washing the plate. And just notice what happens. All that random mental noise, that brain chatter, it just quiets down. And the task itself, it kind of becomes a meditation. And here's the really cool part, the paradox of it all. When you slow down like this, when you focus entirely on the now, you actually get more efficient. You end up making fewer mistakes. The work gets done better with this amazing sense of calm, and weirdly enough, it often feels like it takes less time. It's a total game changer. And look, this is so much more than just a little productivity hack. When you practice this, you start to fundamentally change your entire relationship with time. You go from being controlled by the clock to becoming the master of the moment. So that's really the question, isn't it? Are you going to be a slave to time, or are you going to be its master? We can keep living in that frantic linear world where there is never enough, or we can choose to master time by learning how to truly live in the only moment that ever really exists, which is right now. You know, a really powerful place to start is with the words we use. Think about how often we say, I have no time. Every time you say that, you're just reinforcing that feeling of scarcity. It's like you're waving a white flag to the clock. It's a declaration of defeat, and it just makes it more true for you. So let's try replacing that. Instead of saying you have no time, try this declaration instead. Just say it to yourself. I am fully savoring this time right now. Can you feel that? It's a subtle shift, but it's powerful. You're taking your power back from the future and planting it right here in the realness of the present. Because when you finally stop chasing time and you start actually living in it, you discover something incredible. Everything you've been looking for, everything you really need, it's already here. It's always been here, in the endless, infinite richness of the eternal now.